Greetings to my introduction to philosophy class. We have just been asked this question: who am I? The philosopher who stood out to me the most regarding this question was John Locke, whose views are not quite the same as mine, but similar enough to make a comparison. Let us begin with the definition of person that Locke gives, that being a thinking, intelligent being who has reason and self-reflection and is capable of considering itself as itself. If you have all these qualities, then congratulations, you are considered a person. But where personal identity comes from, well, that, according to Locke, is your consciousness. And what maintains your personal identity is the continuity of your conscious experiences, which is what I will mainly be focusing on here. So, the fact that you are able to remember what you did 30 minutes ago means that you have the same personal identity now that you had 30 minutes ago. However, there is a bit of a problem with this idea. You are not capable of remembering things perfectly. Your memories almost certainly have some missing or false details. So what exactly does this mean for your personal identity? Well, we're going to explore this idea further through a thought experiment called the ship of Theseus. So suppose you have a ship, and every part of the ship is slowly replaced, one by one, until eventually every single part of the ship is a completely new part. This raises the question, is it still the same ship? If your answer is yes, then what exactly about it is still the same? If your answer is no, then when did it stop being the same? Now, let's apply this to personal identity. If your memories, your current memories that is, are not quite the same as your original memories, then do you still have the same identity? Well, if you think that things are more than just the sum of their parts, you might answer yes. But if you think that parts are essential for making a thing what it is, then you might answer no. Now let's go over some of the problems of comparing personal identity to the ship of Theseus. So the first and most obvious problem is that your personal identity is not made out of wood or any other material that is used in shipbuilding. And another problem is that technically you still have the original memory in some sense. It's not like a plank getting removed and then being replaced with a new plank. It's more like the original plank merely changed quality. You still have the original memory, just an imperfect version of it. Now, an idea related to this that I think is worth mentioning is that every time you recall a certain memory, you're actually just recalling the last time you recalled that memory, and that every time you do so, the details get changed a little. For example, you're probably familiar with the Monopoly Man who is depicted in this image here. You probably think that the Monopoly Man wears a monocle, but the truth is, he doesn't. The monocle being on the Monopoly Man was merely a false detail that emerged in your memory of him. So here's a final thing worth considering. Your memory right now, although imperfect, is still dependent upon the original memory. So in that sense, there is still some continuity between you right now and you when you first had the memory. And thus, you still have the same personal identity right now as when you had that original memory in some sense. Take from that what you will. Thank you, everyone.